Now, the United States says it is far less likely to lead a mission to rescue Yazidi refugees on Mount Sinjar in northern Iraq following a reconnaissance by Special Forces team. Justine Greening, the International Development Secretary, told the BBC that under 10,000 people remain. The United Nations had estimated far more were trapped on the mountain after being forced to flee their homes by Islamist fighters and had been considering a mass evacuation. David Cameron said Britain was playing a role in drawing up plans to help the Yazidis. But last night, the Pentagon said those people still there were in a better condition than had been feared. This report from Andy Moore.
These pictures, taken from an Iraqi military helicopter yesterday, show there clearly are refugees still on Mount Sinjar. The question is, how many? An American team, numbering about 20, has flown to the area, and they believe there are far fewer than previously thought. It now appears they number in the thousands, not the tens of thousands. Some have been evacuated by helicopter in chaotic scenes like this, but thousands more have walked off the mountain under cover of darkness every night. Refugees continue to pour out of the area with terrifying stories of intimidation by the militants.
Anyone, any people, do not change his religion from the Yazidi to the Muslim, they'll kill him.
With hundreds of thousands of refugees now in northern Iraq, the United Nations has declared its highest level of emergency. Local Kurdish officials say the situation is critical. A number of British Chinook helicopters were due to arrive in Cyprus overnight to bolster Britain's military presence in the region. British Special Forces are understood to be already in northern Iraq, preparing for a possible rescue mission. The US has 4 Osprey aircraft in Erbil. They're seen here airlifting people to safety after the typhoon in the Philippines. These aircraft will be invaluable in any mass evacuation, but it seems less likely now they will be used in that role. Andy Moore, BBC News.
Well, I'm joined now via webcam by Don Johnston from the Red Cross. He is in Dohuk, the Iraq city that many of the displaced Yazidis and other minority communities are trying so hard to reach. A very good morning to you. Thanks for being with us. Just explain to us, if you can, what you're encountering where you are.
Well, in the last 10 days, over 230,000 people have made their way into Dohuk, either by road or on foot. They have, most of them have been displaced multiple times and have been able to escape without key household items such as blankets, food, water. They've been traumatized by being forced out of their homes, and many people have left family members behind. Many were trapped and are trapped on Sinjar Mountain. Here in Dohuk, in recent days, it is estimated that there are currently more displaced families in the city than there are residents of the city. The situation is really quite grave.
So we've heard from the Pentagon overnight fairly positive things, that there are fewer people still stranded on Mount Sinjar than they thought, and those that are still there in a better condition that had been feared. The result of that, though, we are told, is that they are far less likely to carry out a rescue mission. What's your reaction to that, given what you're seeing where you are?
Well, first of all, that's extremely good news. However, we are seeing every day thousands and tens of thousands of people who have made it from these communities and have made it to safety here in Dohuk and this northern region of Kurdistan. They are arriving without the means of living or surviving, and they are in dire need of these household items and food to continue their uncertain existence. I would emphasize that we must remain focused, that at this point the humanitarian community is woefully underfunded. The organizations that are on the ground do not have the funds. They're overstretched already, and we will need the attention of the international community in the coming weeks and months to support these people with the items that they need to live.
The airdrops continue, we are told. When people arrive in Dohuk and you're speaking to them, do you get the impression that these supplies are reaching those that need it when they have been stranded on the mountain?
Yes, they certainly are. However, I believe it was really quite difficult to get to these folks, and the people were scattered throughout the mountain. So I believe it was quite difficult to reach every one of them. but those that they did reach were most welcome. And the Iraqi Red Crescent Society has been key in providing food and water in these airdrops to reach these folks.
So how confident do you feel that this 10,000 or however many are left on Mount Sinjar at the moment will make it to safety in places like Dohuk?
Really, the area is too insecure for Red Cross or Red Crescent teams to evaluate, but certainly the news is promising, and certainly what we are seeing in people crossing into the border from Syria, Turkey, and straight across over the Tigris River indicates that many more people are making it to safety. However, again, I would emphasize that the task is just beginning of trying to support them in their new lives in the coming months here in northern Kurdistan.
And you say the aid community there is woefully underfunded. What do you need at this stage? Is it just funds? Is that the most important thing?
Yes, it is. People have left behind virtually everything. They've come either on foot after being stranded on the mountain for many days. Those that were a bit more fortunate came in their cars and trucks, but they brought nothing with them. So what they need are key household items such as blankets, mattresses, stoves, food, shelter. What we need here at the Red Cross and Red Crescent are funds that we will be able to use to purchase in the local market those items and provide these items to the people here that are displaced in Kurdistan.
OK. Don Johnston, very good to talk to you. Thanks very much indeed.
Thank you for your time.